making a video. Hooray. Bella is right there. Her butt. You can't see it, but in case she pops up, just want to warn you. Phone is here in case it rings. Just want to warn you, all these things could happen potentially in this video. It's Wednesday afternoon, about 4:43 in the evening. I just recently got home from the second appointment of the week. I guess the first sort of doctor's appointment. I just saw the Susan on Monday, who I should apparently probably send an email to in a little bit. Yeah, today's appointment I was not looking forward to in any way. I'm still running a fever, but I took a ton of acetaminophen before I went. They didn't take my temperature in the office, but we'll see. I think my weight is down because I weighed like I had jeans on and I had a ton of shit in my pocket. I had my phone and my keys and my wallet and like 4 or 5 other things. I know everybody says that, but I had on a hoodie and a ton of other stuff and actual shoes. So I think I weighed like 142. So I don't know that all that stuff weighed 2 pounds, but I would say I probably weigh about 140 now, which that's a lot less than I weighed this summer. Earlier this year when I went to see the wizard, I've lost a ton of weight. I even was talking and texting Jackie as I was at the office filling out all the new paperwork, that my pants are way too big now. And I haven't had them that long, so it sucks. Now I have to buy. It sucks, but I'm sort of like cheap, and I'm not buying new pants until I can fit back in my old pants size. Oh no, I'm vain. No, I'm just cheap. Anyway, I'm trying to watch the time, trying to behave, because there's a lot to probably talk about. Yeah, I wasn't looking forward to the doctor visit today because I had to go see the gross OBGYN doctor that I just don't, not good. It was a new doctor, but my lesbian therapist recommended her because she's a lesbian. Which maybe, if you sort of think on it, it's a little strange that a lesbian is an OBGYN. But in some ways, it makes total sense, you know? I don't know. I don't know if you'd get tired of it and have to go home to it. But whatever. She was super cool. The wait was not that bad, and I had to fill out paperwork, so I survived it. And I think every time from now on shouldn't be as bad. Make it sound like I have to go like every week. I actually have to go back in 2 weeks, but don't have to do anything. That's what I get for being honest. I get a pap smear for being honest. That really helps make me feel better. Because it had been over a year, and there were some issues about them not being normal for a while, and then having to do... Anyway, I have a long history of mess, thanks to Lyme disease. And I told her about how the endometriosis has gotten worse, and how I know I've had cysts since the 2 that I had that were huge. Thankfully I don't have any right now. I didn't think I really did. I thought I'd had some, I think about 2 to 3 months ago, I had a round where I was pretty sure I had some. I wasn't really sure. But I didn't feel like I had any right now. I just felt like I was feeling like crap. And I talked to her about sort of where I am with the Lyme stuff, and sort of where I am with the trans stuff, and sort of what I want and what I don't want. And how I really could care less if I had any reproductive organs, mostly because of the endometriosis. It's not fueled by solely, like, trans, I don't want my reproductive organs thing. That sort of comes second place to, like, not wanting a period because it makes me, I really have a bug bite, and I just scratched. The sort of dysphoria with the period, it's not super awful, because I know I've talked to people who have a lot worse dysphoria, and who have lower dysphoria. I really don't have a ton of lower dysphoria, but I have really awful periods now that I have Lyme. I never had any issues before, and birth control gets messed up by the antibiotics, and so it doesn't work. And so even though it's supposed to be a 3-month birth control, but it really doesn't work out like that. And so basically she suggested that we don't do an ablation because that's just going to get rid of my period, but it's not going to get rid of the endometriosis because the endometriosis comes from the estrogen. It's like water to weeds. Estrogen to endometriosis. So she said we could just do an oophorectomy, but in my case she would prefer to do a total hysterectomy because there are cases, and we're getting my records from my old doctor to see for sure what's really going on, which is why I'm seeing her again in 2 weeks, to see sort of the history and how things were documented, because there wasn't a lot of awesome communication between that doctor and us. So there is a possibility that the endometriosis can not only be around the uterus, but in the uterus itself, which is called something else, not endometriosis. Something that starts with an A. So she said, yes, in theory, I will go within 6 months. I will go into, like, menopause. But she says if it's really awful, she described, what menopause is: hot sweats, brain problems, you have to be on calcium because I have 2 X chromosomes. I can't sort of ignore that. My body and my bones are used to a certain level of calcium, and when you cut off that supply, you can break bones a lot easier. I don't need any more problems, so I have to be on calcium and all that crap. But she says if, worst case scenario, I have to go back on a very, 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 very minuscule dose of hormones. We were talking about all this, and of course we have to do the awful stuff, which it's kind of funny because anyway, I have my port in and it's accessed, so it was a little humorous to, like, just in general. And she was like, I don't know, she was checking my stethoscope, checking my lungs, and she goes, nothing's wrong back here, just some man-made things. She's talking about my tattoo. And she told me I look like Morrissey, which is kind of funny, I guess, because I didn't have anything in my hair, and it was just out of a hat. Anyway, so I asked her, what she recommended. I don't want kids. I'm not worried about freezing my eggs. I'm sorry, I'm checking on my dog child. Funny, anyway. I don't care about freezing my eggs. If in 10 years I want kids, I will happily adopt, but at this juncture, I absolutely know without a shadow of a doubt that I do not want my own biological children. Period. Don't care. And she was like, she's looking at my chart when we're gonna leave, and she goes, and you have heard that, like, final speech, the one where once it's gone, it's gone. She said, because I just look at your age, and I realized, you're pretty young. She's like, but is there really any chance that in 10 or 20 years you're gonna turn straight? And I'm like, no. Or want babies? No. So she's like, she's not bothered by it. She definitely is understanding of it. And so I told her I don't want to do anything at least until November. If not, December seems the time to do these things, unfortunately. I don't want to do it, but it's not a surgery I want, but I feel like it needs to be taken care of, and the longer it gets put off, the more painful it gets in my experience. And I already had a laparoscopy done once, and that's how they do the total hysterectomies now. It's not a big cut. It's, it's sort of like the version of the gallbladder. It'll be the same kind of scars, except they'll put more holes in me than they did the last time. Probably 2 more holes for the laparoscopy. The laparoscopy, it's a total hysterectomy through laparoscopic tools. Don't ask me how they do that. I could care less. I know it will be painful, but I've had my gallbladder removed now, and I've had a laparoscopy done. And the worst part isn't exactly the surgery or the scars. It is hard to get up because it feels like your abdominal muscles have been ripped. The worst part is that CO2 shit that they pump in you that goes up in your shoulders because it's trying to escape its gas. And it hurts and it makes it hard to get up. That's probably the worst part. Anyway, lots of questions about the Lyme. She seemed really good about that. So, it went okay. I'll go back in 2 weeks. And unfortunately, but I guess fortunately, we'll probably go ahead and schedule the surgery. I know they have this new 15-minute thing. I'm not real happy. It sort of makes me not care when it hits 10 minutes. I know some of you are just checking back in, like the trans thing is like a magical new surprise. It's not really, but it is to you. I understand. It's like being a parent and being kept in the dark for a while. It's been going on for about a year. I don't know, Michael, if you went back and watched videos. I'm sure you didn't because you have a life and you've been busy. And I've missed a lot of videos. Well, so it's hard to catch back up, but it's not new. It just took a while to talk about what was going on, and mostly it's hard still because I'm not sure 100% what I want and what it means. I know the things I want to do, you know, steps A, B, but beyond that I don't know a lot about, like, T, steps like T, and stuff like that, so. Anyway, I'll let you guys go. That's my video. It's just because I don't have rehearsal today, and Jackie has rehearsal, and I'm still sick, so I can't go see a friend, and my mom's stealing my car to go get the brakes done. So I am trapped, lonely, at home, with Bella and Keely, who are good companions. And if I had another bag of fluids, I would run it. We ran it yesterday. It's still in, though. Anyway. I'm sorry. Rehearsal tomorrow and the big away football game on Friday. So that should be a big deal for my kids. Hopefully it'll be a good run. We're doing the first 2 parts of the show, which is really the first 2/3 because the second song is so long. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you later with my book bite. Bye. Have a good weekend.